So this is probably not going to surprise anybody, but morbidly obese people are dying.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead.
There's been a handful of fat positive influencers, fat liberation, fat acceptance influencers who have recently passed away because they decided to defy science, logic, and medical literature and think that they can walk around being 600 pounds and they're still healthy.
The fat acceptance movement, also known as fat pride, fat empowerment, and fat activism, is a social movement which seeks to eliminate the social stigma of fatness from social attitudes by pointing out the social obstacles which are faced by fat people to the general public. While many people in this group have determined and spread through social media that obesity is not as bad as we have always thought, or that science has proven, many have embraced the word fat and deemed the word obese to now be a slur. Many won't even say the word in their homes.
Said to me, well, have you eaten? And I said, yeah, I had some pizza earlier. And they said, you need to eat something like a bit more healthy. Now, there are a few words that I don't allow when somebody comes into my house, and healthy is one of them.
I'm not gonna make a really long video about this. I do think the movement is starting to die, especially with Ozempic, and a lot of those fat influencers are gonna hop on that real quick, especially when they start getting that sponsorship money and they're getting older, their knees hurt, they can't get pregnant, and they just realize it's not really trendy anymore. The movement is dying, just like the red pill, and I'm happy about both. I think a lot of these groups start off with good intentions of saying people of different sizes should have all the equal rights as everybody else, and they should be able to live their lives as free as anybody else without being shamed, criticized, bullied, chastised, whatever. And I agree with that. And then it turned into like this whole like you can be 600 pounds morbidly obese, can't get out of bed, need a wheelchair everywhere you go. Now it's this new like fat influencers talking about she's proud she can't wipe her ass, celebrate mediocrity.
An influencer named Rosie Beamy on Instagram recently came under fire from a fat activist named Fat Girl Flo when she decided to share her reason for wanting to lose weight, which was because she got so large that she could no longer wipe her own butt. Fat Girl Flo got so triggered by Rosie Beamy's post that she went on to write an entire article about it, calling it ableist and all kinds of other crazy stuff.
So it turned into something really ugly and disgusting, and a lot of these fat positive people aren't even that positive. They're really awful and mean and judgmental, and it's probably because they're chronically depressed because they're putting garbage in their bodies. Who you are is really what you eat. If you eat garbage, you're gonna feel like garbage. But anyway, just like the, you know, black movement or pro-black or LGBTQ or feminism, women's movement, I always think they start off with good intentions. The red pill movement, Manosphere, I always think they start off with good intentions and they just become toxic somehow. And I do think at some point the biggest mouthpiece of those movements stop actually caring about the people they're supposed to be supporting, and they just care about what gets them clicks, what gets them sponsorships, what pays their bills, and they will keep preaching really bad information and hurting the people that actually follow them. Like the fat positive movement, a lot of times a lot of fat white women, white progressive women, like to hide behind black bodies by saying like fat phobia hurts black women the most, even though the biggest mouthpieces of the fat acceptance movements are white women. But if you cared about black women and you actually educated yourself a little bit about the black community, you would understand that we are actually suffering a lot from things like diabetes. Black people are dying of diabetes. Black people are getting their limbs removed. So if you actually cared about these minority communities like you say you do, you would talk about that so black women and black men can live long, healthy, vibrant lives, not preaching things that are going to hurt them in the long run. Even if you get rid of the racial aspect, you would want the people that follow you to have the longest, healthiest, happiest lives possible. And being big, being obese makes your life difficult. Just moving through life makes your life difficult. I'm not big, like, to prove it, I'm not big, but right at my upper thigh, it kind of touches if I walk a little bit too long, and it doesn't feel good. So I've seen bodies, big bodies, where your thigh literally overlaps each other all the way below your knee. I know your walking is not comfortable for you. Fuck saying that is amazing, and it's not. It's not enjoyable to live your life like that. And you think the people you care about, people follow you, you want them to live good lives, and you want them to be mentally and psychologically okay. A lot of times, people overeat because they're not emotionally and mentally and psychologically healthy. They're overeating because they're depressed. They're overeating because they have anxiety. They're overeating because childhood trauma or past trauma or PTSD. They're overeating because they never learned how to deal with their emotions correctly. They're overeating because that was the only form of love they were shown as children. And instead of being like, I care about my community enough that I want to talk about these issues so we can help each other get out of this and we can be healthier people and not keep passing down this trauma and keep passing down this toxicity generation after generation. But they don't care. They care about themselves, and they care about their marketing and their platform and their sponsorship deals and paying their rent and paying their bills. They don't actually care about you, because if they did, they would say, love yourself where you are, but also grow and evolve and be healthier, a healthier version of you, a better version. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still love yourself and still strive to be a better version of you. Anywho, that's it. That's all I had to say about that. I feel like if you still follow this movement and you actually believe the shit that comes out of their mouths, you are a willing participant at this point. You are voluntarily wanting to put your head in the sand and believe the shit that are coming out saying that you can be morbidly fucking 600 pounds and still be healthy. You just want to believe that because you don't want to take the time to really dig and figure out why you're overeating and really put the work in to stop overeating. If you want to be fat and unhealthy and you know you're fat and unhealthy, fine. You have the individual right to do that, but don't try to like put shit in our eyes and call it roses. We know that is unhealthy. I feel bad for some of these people, and some people, like, you made your bed and you laid in it. Anywho, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. You can support this channel by donating. It helps keep me on this platform, and you guys have an amazing, beautiful, freaking healthy day. Bye.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.